Good morning, everyone. It's a true privilege to stand before nearly 3,000 of the most passionate and committed members of our legal community. Thank you for being here, and thank you to AILA for giving me the honor of introducing my husband, Jeff Joseph, and your next AILA president. Today is a celebration of leadership and the future of our association. But in this moment, at this exact point in history, we're not just looking for someone to hold a title. We're looking for someone who is ready for this job, someone who understands the stakes, someone who reflects the values, the experience, and the resilience of this membership. Just a few months ago, the White House issued a memorandum warning against so-called abuses of the legal system, specifically singling out immigration attorneys and directing the Department of Justice to investigate any lawyer who filed litigation against the government. These are the very lawsuits that many of us use to hold our government accountable. Jeff responded publicly. He didn't hesitate. He called it what it was, an attempt to intimidate, to chill advocacy, and to discredit the work of this community. He called it unconstitutional. He called it dangerous. And in that moment, I saw exactly why Jeff is ready for and right for this role. He doesn't just have experience, he has courage. He understands the law and he knows how to defend it clearly, publicly, and without apology. That is what this moment demands. And that is why I want to tell you about Jeff Joseph. Jeff didn't go to law school to become an immigration attorney. He went to law school to become a human rights lawyer. And in Colorado, immigration was the closest thing that he could find to fighting for human dignity every single day. He started his career at the Colorado Public Defender's Office, gaining real courtroom experience. His first job out of law school was with a corporate immigration firm, but he didn't just take that path, he made it his own. He used his trial background to build a removal defense practice from scratch. A year later, he launched his own firm. He knows what it means to build something from the ground up, to work every angle, every weekend, and every referral, to turn a set of skills, his debate and his trial experience background, and his fluency in Spanish, into a focused, values-driven practice. I remember those early years working at the dining room table, jumping up to feed the kids or run them to activities, trying to figure out if we could afford to hire staff, and constantly switching hats between manager, marketer, and caseworker. It was a blur, but that's also when I saw how determined Jeff was to build something that really mattered. That firm became Joseph Law Firm and later Joseph & Hall. We built it together, late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Jeff has experienced firsthand what it means to also run a solo and a small firm. He's grown a practice, led a team, served families in crisis, and fought in courtrooms and agencies around the country. He understands what it means to be a removal defense attorney, a litigator, a family-based practitioner, and an entrepreneur. But he also understands corporate immigration law at scale. Today, he's a partner at Barry Appelman & Leiden, where he focuses on litigation and compliance for companies and employees around the world. He knows what it's like to manage high-stakes clients, urgent deadlines, and shifting priorities. He serves on the boards of many nonprofits like the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network and the American Immigration Council. He understands that world too. Big firm, small firm, nonprofit, litigation, corporate, family, removal, asylum, compliance. Jeff understands the full spectrum of what it means to be an immigration lawyer because he's done it all. Jeff has also been deeply involved in AILA throughout his career: liaison work, litigation, education, and leadership. He served as chapter chair for 6 years on the National Board of Governors and spent years building relationships between members, agencies, and national leadership. He's shown up for his clients, he's shown up for his partners, and he's shown up for his colleagues and for this community time and time again. But what makes Jeff truly special isn't just his legal mind, which is very impressive, but it's also his heart. I've seen him mentor young attorneys with patience, donate countless hours to bar programs and committees, and give generously of his time and talent to the community. He's always promoted the work and the strength of those around him, not because he needs the spotlight, but because he knows that everyone rises when they're seen. For Jeff, leadership isn't about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about helping others find theirs. His leadership is grounded in integrity, patience, and deep-rooted respect for everyone he works with. That's why he's ready, not for just this role, but for this moment. We're entering a time when immigration attorneys are facing direct attacks from powerful institutions. We need someone who understands the work that we do because he's done all of it. Someone who has walked in the shoes of everyone in this room. Someone who will defend this community because he is part of it. Jeff is uniquely prepared to lead AILA at this moment. Before I close, I want you to hear from a few people who know Jeff well, who've worked with him, learned from him, and seen his leadership in action.
I am so proud to be able to call Jeff Joseph my friend. For more than 20 years, I've had the chance to work with him as a leader within AILA and as a leader and supporter of the American Immigration Council.
I've been working with Jeff for the past 4 years. It's been 4 years of a lot of hard work, immigration landscapes that are not easy, but always managing to have some great conversations and a lot of fun.
He has this innate sense of humility and brilliance. And by combining those two attributes, he truly serves people.
You know, the thing that stands out about Jeff is we all think he's awesome. He's so fun to be around. I had known him a long time, but I didn't ever think I'd get to work with him. And just the fact that he was willing to step out of his comfort zone, do something totally new and different by joining us, and the drive and the entrepreneurial spirit he brings to what we're doing has been amazing to see. And I'm super excited about how he's going to bring that to AILA now.
There's not a day that goes by that I'm not in awe of Jeff. He has an amazing leadership background. His legal expertise is off the charts, and he has somewhat of a spicy personality. That is the exact recipe our organization needs right now for its leadership, especially in this chaotic environment.
2 things about working with Jeff as a young associate. Number 1, you're going to be fighting DHS tooth and nail and trying to look for every chance you have to drag the fight into federal court. Number 2, you're always speaking at a CLE that you forgot you agreed to.
My dad is one of the most passionate and hardworking people that I know, and he always has been somebody that people around him look up to.
My dad has been a role model for me in all sorts of ways, from being a coach to being a colleague, and I will always be grateful for his guidance, kindness, and especially for the experiences that we have shared.
Dad, you've taught me how to be a leader and instilled the importance of leadership in me, and you are a great teacher. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait to see how you do with this next chapter.
Today, I get the privilege of honoring my brother, the new president of AILA, not just for what he's achieved, but for how he's always led, by shining light on others, lifting voices that too often go unheard, and guiding with quiet strength and brilliance. I am just one of those people who have been lucky enough to stand in his sunlight.
At our 40th anniversary at BAL, which we celebrated a little bit late because of COVID, we had an 80s themed prom event, and Jeff showed up in full mullet, full gear, and it was a ton of fun.
Yes, he's a fabulous dresser with fantastic taste in wine, who's always willing to get on the dance floor, but he's also an incredible lawyer and litigator and a passionate advocate.
Everyone's saying congratulations to Jeff, and congrats, Jeff. But this is really a congratulations to our organization.
Congratulations on becoming the next AILA president.
Congratulations and go Deeks.
Congratulations, Jeff, and thank you for being the kind of leader this world needs more of.
Jeff is an incredible mentor who always pushed us beyond what we knew we were capable of, and he's going to push AILA in the same ways. Congratulations, Jefe.
AILA is really lucky to have him as our new president. Thank you, Jeff.
I could have filled in an hour with voices like those, but that gives you just a glimpse of who Jeff really is through the eyes of people who have seen his work and his character and his impact firsthand. That's the kind of leader Jeff is. That's the kind of president he will be. Jeff has been named one of the top 100 lawyers in Colorado, a trailblazer by the American Lawyer magazine, one of the top immigration attorneys in the country by Law Dragon, Chambers, and Best Lawyers in America. But accolades don't define him. His work does. His service does. His ability to connect, to represent, and to act, that's what sets him apart. Today, as he steps into this role, he brings with him not just decades of experience, but a vision grounded in fairness, inclusion, and service. I've seen it up close for 7 years. 27, actually, sorry, not 7, 27. From law books to late nights, from courtrooms to carpool lines, from co-founders to life partners, it's been quite a journey. As many of you know, Jeff and I are the proud parents of 2 sets of twins, now 19 and 24. And throughout our life together, Jeff has managed to balance everything, from running a law firm, mentoring attorneys, leading within AILA, and still being fully present at home. He was there in the early chaos of parenting, and he was there years later, coaching high school debate, chaperoning tournaments, and showing up for every single performance and every milestone. He shows up fully, whether it's at home, in the office, or in the courtroom. When I asked our kids what this honor meant to them, they said, "It's who Dad is. He always shows up for people, and he always will." And they're right. I've been proud to stand beside him every step of the way, and now it's my joy to stand behind him in full support of this next chapter. So now, please join me in welcoming the next president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, my husband, my partner, your colleague, Jeff Joseph.
So Kirby, that was unbelievable. The tribute from all my close friends and family was just super special. So thank you. Kirby, you've been, from the moment we met in law school, we've been flying this mission together. We've built a life filled with shared values, shared purpose, and love. And we've brought that into our homes and into our work. And I just would not have been able to do it without you. So thank you for the love and the support that you brought me. I just absolutely am in awe of you, and thank you. To my kids, Caden, Tucker, Rowan, and Finley, you are my greatest joy. and my greatest gift. And watching you grow has been the most meaningful journey for me. This family, my AILA family, has known you since you were babies. So you've grown up in many ways with this family. So who knows? Maybe one of you one day will be on this stage as an AILA leader, and we can give those stumps a run for their money. To my parents, Gary and Cheryl, your faith and values led me to Jesuit High School. And it was there that I was first introduced to the principles of social justice. It was there through service with Cuban and Haitian immigrants that I first was introduced to the concept of immigration. And that early spark lit the path for what would ultimately lead here to a career in immigration law and policy. To my firm, BAL, it is the greatest gift to be able to reinvent yourself late in a career and to live my life and purpose in work every day. At BAL, I am supported and I get to fight for what matters, both in courtrooms and here in AILA leadership. And I am so grateful for the support. Being an AILA on executive committee or just leadership in general is a huge time commitment, y'all. But it's not just a time commitment for us personally. It's a commitment and a sacrifice for all the firms for whom we work. And I just want to say that out loud and honor that and give those firms a round of applause for the support that they'll give up to us as AILA leaders. Jeremy and Frida, your daily example reminds me of what it looks like to be a leader. And I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to work with and learn from you all each day. To my partners and colleagues at BAL, to my team, Jeff and Lyndon, you all humble me with your brilliance and your commitment to advancing the profession. So thank you. And to my former law firm, my former home, Joseph and Hall, Kirby, Aaron, Zach, Luke, Jennifer, you remain warriors at the front lines. I am absolutely so proud of the victories that we won together. And I just love sitting on the sidelines and watching what you continue to build and what you continue to do. To my executive committee family, Kelly, Alexis, Jackie, Reka, Michelle, Farshad, Jeremy, Alan, Jennifer, and of course, Ben. Thank you for being my compass and my fire. We've built more than a team and we've done more than great things. We've actually built an incredible bond together. And it has absolutely been the honor of my professional career to work with all of you. So, welcome friends. Here we are in magnificent, beautiful Aurora at the Gaylord Resort of the Rockies. Welcome. And welcome to the largest gathering of immigration warriors in history. 2,800 present here, over 2,800 here present in the room, and over 1,000 online. A heartfelt thanks goes out to Emmy Smith and Catherine Chong, the events team, and the education team. This incredible conference would not be possible without your dedication and commitment to all AILA members. 107 educational sessions led by over 380 immigration experts, all here on their volunteer time to make us better at what we do. So thank you to Emmy. Thank you to all the volunteers that have put in time for this conference. And Matt Stump, thank you for chairing this conference. I have done this. I've done this job chairing the conference, and I can tell you it is a grueling task to create the panels, pick the speakers, and create the kind of programming that we need. So congratulations. One of the things I love about the annual conference is that you get to look around and see your work product, and you should be really proud, Matt, of what you've accomplished here. To my home chapter, Colorado, you guys have knocked it out of the park. James Lamb, outgoing chapter chair, Julia Guzman, incoming chapter chair. You've literally outdone yourself. Those t-shirts are rad. The visitor guide is next level, and the tours that you've put together really show the spirit and soul of our city to AILA members from around the world. Ironically, 9 months ago, in this very room, then candidate Donald Trump took this stage and he called this same city a war zone. While he spoke, he projected mugshots of undocumented immigrants behind him, alleged undocumented immigrants and gang members behind him, and he promised a new operation, Operation Aurora. He vowed to use the Alien Enemies Act, an obscure, rarely used wartime provision of law that allows the president to detain and deport. Unfettered discretion. And on day one of his presidency, he kept that promise. He declared Tren de Aragua a terrorist organization and rounded up 250 Venezuelans, detained them and deported them to a maximum security prison in El Salvador. But we did not stay silent. We fought back. Lawsuits surged nationwide, including one right here in our home state of Colorado. And in April, after a massive wave of litigation, the Supreme Court ruled that the Constitution still matters and that this president cannot deport people without some modicum of due process. If you represented Venezuelans either in TPS or parole, if you represented Venezuelans in removal proceedings, in habeas proceedings, or in litigation against the Alien Enemies Act, will you please stand up so we can recognize you? Thank you. You fought for the Constitution, you fought for justice, and we appreciate it. But this is just one of the grenades that's been launched at us since January 20th. It seems like we get a new one every day. Since January 20th, this administration has launched a full frontal attack, not just against immigration, not just against immigrants, but against the institutions that support them. Students, doctors, trans immigrants, nonprofits, schools, medical providers, researchers, scientists, businesses, judges, law firms, prosecutors, even us, AILA. They came after us, my family, and you don't mess with my family. On March 22nd, President Trump issued a chilling proclamation. He accused immigration lawyers of widespread fraud. He accused us of filing frivolous and vexatious lawsuits. And he ordered investigations into any lawyer who has filed an asylum application within the past 7 years, or any lawyer who's litigated against the government within the past 7 years. And he authorized the Department of Justice to seek sanctions, including Rule 11 sanctions, against those attorneys in court. Just let that sink in for a minute. Of all the professions in the world, even of all the specialties within the field of immigration, or within the field of law, he singled out us, immigration lawyers. Not for wrongdoing, but for doing what's right, for standing up for our clients, for going to court, for fighting back. And I was stunned. At first I was stunned, then I was angry, and then I got to work. I decided that on day one of my AILA presidency, I was going to stand up a task force, and I launched AILA's Rule of Law Task Force. This task force will stand up for the integrity of our profession. It will defend AILA's values and our mission, and it will defend lawyers who have dedicated their careers to the ethical advancement of the practice of law. We will fight back. We will fight back against the unwarranted, unprecedented, and chilling attack on our profession. Thank you, Jerry Greca, and past president Kathleen Campbell Walker for taking charge of this organization of this task force. If you're a member of the task force, would you please stand up? You are our shield. You are our voice. You are the line between tyranny and justice, and we appreciate it. You're damn right we're vexatious. That logo, by the way, it was designed, I found this out 2 days ago. This small world of small worlds was designed by one of my former clients. So really feel special that even my clients get to be a part of this day for me. So today marks 150 days of this presidency. So let me ask you, how are you doing? And I mean this seriously, like, how are you doing? Because I know myself, this has been challenging. I feel tired, I feel anxious, I feel angry, I feel hopeless, I feel scared. But then I remember, and I want you to remember 3 things. First, you are stronger than you think you are. We survived Trump 1.0. We've already done this. We learned, we organized, we got larger, we got faster, we got more nimble, and we are more prepared than we ever have been. Trump 1.0 was just our training ground. And if you don't believe me, just look at what happened when ICE illegally terminated the SEVIS registrations of 8,000 students around the country. AILA and ACLU partnered together. We mobilized quickly. We created a listserv. We shared briefs. We shared strategy. And within days, hundreds of lawsuits were filed all around the country, and dozens of restraining orders were issued. Student status was restored. If you were part of that fight, if you counseled with students, if you counseled businesses that were dealing with us, or schools, or you fought for these students in litigation, please stand up. Look around the room. This is the army. This is the army that we're building. The second thing I want you to remember, and this has been a theme, is that AILA has your back. From practice management, ethics, wellness, litigation, legislation, education, media advocacy, AILA stands with you, they stand beside you, and they stand behind you, pushing you forward to be a better lawyer. Our practice and professionalism team, led by Reed Trouts, supports the Practice and Professionalism Center, supports our ethics, well-being, pro bono, and the Rule of Law Task Force. They keep us sane, ethical, and equipped for the future. Our education team, led by Emmy Smith, delivers world-class learning and training to all of us. They organize best-in-class webinars and seminars to keep us informed, and have really exciting conferences coming up for the next year, including a federal litigation conference and a conference on technology and AI in our practices. Our communications team, led by George Samaras, handled nearly 1,000 press inquiries since January 1st, resulting in almost 5,000 AILA mentions in the media. Y'all, that is so important, because part of what we need to do is change the narrative, reclaim the narrative, and change the hearts and minds of Americans about this issue. Government relations, led by Chev Dalal-Dehaney and Greg Chen. I can't even tell you how tirelessly they have worked since January 1st. On day one, when those executive orders came out, they literally were working around the clock to provide the information that our members need. 143 practice alerts, 28 policy briefs that have been read into congressional records, 26 client flyers that you can use in your practices, and rapid analysis of all the executive orders that keep getting thrown at us. And litigation, led by Jennifer Coberly. Her and the benefits litigation team have revamped the brief bank on AILA InfoNet, so that the templates that you can find for federal litigation are easier, they're searchable, and they're easier to use, so that all of us can get in the game of litigation. They won grace periods for USCIS forms, and they've led and partnered with other organizations on other impact litigation. The third thing I want you to remember, and this is the most important, this work matters. This isn't just lawyering. We're not here to fill out forms. This is legacy. This is why you went to law school. This is why you spent the big bucks and have the diploma on your wall. And you get to fight one of the most consequential legal battles of our time. You get to change lives. You get to save lives. So rise up. Now is the time. You are the experts. You are the ones that clients trust. You are the ones that the courts depend on, the ones that the media listens to, and the ones that history will write about. You, like Gabby said, are the ones who light the way in the darkest hours for families. I am honored to serve as your president during this defining moment. Together, we're going to defend the rule of law. We're going to elevate the ethical practice of immigration law. And we will fight. We will fight for our clients, we will fight for our profession, and we will fight for each other. This is your moment. You are ready and stronger than you ever have been, and AILA has your back. Thank you.